Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to learn how to make these fingerless mittens, and I have a downloadable pattern for you. If you just click the link in the description down below, it will take you to my Ravelry page where you can download a free PDF of the instructions for this mitten. And I've knitted one and I just want to show you what it looks like. So as you can see, the cuff is quite long because I find that if it's short, then you always have this, skin showing, and you want to be nice and cozy. So it has a zigzag rib, which I prefer because it's very elasticy, but it's not, it's stretchy, but it comes back, as you can see. So it's very stretchy, stretchier than knit one per one, but it comes back, so it creates this really good cuff. And you could use it for sweaters, the bottom of sweaters. You could use it for socks. I used it for the mitten. Right, now the yarn I'm using, it's Drops Baby Merino, and I chose this yarn because it's very cheap, but it's very nice. So it's so soft, it's very soft. You could, I believe you could machine wash it. I'm not sure though. It doesn't say whether it's superwash. Yeah, it is superwash. Superwash treated extra fine merino wool. So yes, you could machine wash it. It's also a great yarn for baby knits. And stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to my channel, just click that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I have some baby knits coming up with this yarn. So you need the yarn, you need needles, and I use circular needles. These are my trusty Knit Pros, and I'm using 3mm needles. The yarn does tell you to use 3mm needles, and as you can see, it knits beautiful with it, with the 3mm needles. It's just a nice knit. And I find that sometimes if you do a design on the back of your mitten, then most designs have holes or lace, and that would just make it a bit, breezy. But because it's just plain stockinette, it's easy for beginners. It has the decorative twisted rib, but it keeps you warm. And the other thing, I've seen most mittens with a cuff on the thumb, but there's really, seriously, how is 1 centimeter of ribbing going to keep your thumb warmer than just this? And I just figured these are beginner friendly, these are easy mittens, so just keep it simple. And that's what I did. So let's put this here, okay, and start our mittens. Now these are knitted in the round, so you could use double pointed needles, or you could use circular needles with the magic loop, and this is what I'm going to demonstrate today. This is going to be a magic loop video. Obviously, if you're familiar with DPNs and you prefer DPNs, just go ahead and do DPNs. The reason why I like circulars is because I can do 2 at a time, and this is how I knit all my socks and all my mittens. But for the sake of this video, I've knitted one to show you what it looks like when it's finished, and I'm going to knit one along with you for this video. All right, let's start. We're going to do the long tail cast on, so just leave a tail on your cast on, and we're going to make a slip knot. And I usually just hold the yarn like this, go with my thumb and my finger like that, twist and pull through the tail, and then I'm just going to adjust it like that. So that's 1 stitch, yeah. And we're going to cast on 48 stitches. So I've got one, and then we're going to do 47. 2, 3, 4. All right, I've done my cast on, and now we're going to join in the round and work about 3 inches of twisted rib. And the twisted rib is a 4 round repeat, and this is worked in the round. I do have a video on twisted rib in the flat, which makes it look a little bit different, but still you can see the twists there and here. Let me just find a marker. So I like to cast on double needles like this because it makes it easier for the first row. You don't want the first row to be too tight. So in order to join in the round, oh, I left a long tail and I haven't got anything to cut it with. Anyway, you want to kind of like split in half your stitches and just pull on the cord like this. Okay, so we're lining up the two sides like this with the pearl bumps facing up, and then we're just going to put them like this, so the pearl bumps are inside in between the needles. Line it up and begin knitting using the magic loop. Let me just make sure I'm not knitting with the tail. So this is my yarn. I'm going to knit with my yarn. Let's just go like that. All right, so I use these stitch markers. I make them myself. They're just from the jewelry, and I put a bead on them like that, and they're just cute and I like them, and I use them on all my projects. So we're gonna put a stitch marker there, and we're gonna start with row 1 and 2, which will be purl 2, knit 2 all the way around. So you pull the needle from the back and you start knitting with the needle knitting the stitches off the needle in the front. So we start with purl 2. Just make sure you don't twist your work. 1. Oh, I didn't twist it, but I split the stitch. So we're going to do purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, all the way around. Okay, so that was one round, and now we're going to do round number 2, which is the same, purl 2, knit 2 all the way around. Just going to move that there. All right, now we got to round number 3, and this is the only one that is kind of like the action round, and we're going to do a stitch which is called knit 2 together plus knit, and that's how it's written in the pattern, knit 2 together plus knit, but it means knit 2 together, don't slip off the needle, the stitch, and then knit into the first stitch again. And I'm going to show you how to do that here. We're just going to start with purl 2 stitches because that's we purl the 2 stitches. Okay, and now we have 2 knit stitches. Let's see if you can see 2 knit stitches here, which we're going to knit them together, but we're not going to take them off, but we're going to split them like this and knit into the first stitch again. And then we're going to take them off, and that creates the twist. Let me show you again. So we're going to purl 2, okay, then we're going to knit 2 together, separate them like that and knit into the first stitch again, and then take them off the needle. Let me show you again. So purl 2, then we have the 2 knit stitches here. You see, I'm going to knit both of them together. I'm not going to take them off the needle and go into the first stitch one more time, then I'm going to take both of them off. So this is the action row, which is action round, which is round number 3. And you're going to do that one time, and then for round number 4 we're just going to do purl 2, knit 2 all the way around. And you're going to repeat these 4 rounds, sorry, I keep saying rows, 4 rounds, for 7 times. So you can see here I have, this is 1 twist, 2 twists, 3 twists. Oh, sorry, let's go again. 1 twist, 2 twists, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 twists. Yeah, so if you want the cuff longer, then you just add a few more twists, a few more repeats of the round 1 to 4. And after that, we are going to work plain stockinette for 6 rounds according to the pattern. Just follow your pattern, and then we're going to start the increase for the thumb. So I'm not gonna knit on camera the rest of the cuff because I already showed you how to do the repeats from round 1 to 4. So the next time I'm going to meet you when we need to do the increases for the thumb. Good luck. So now we're going to start the thumb gusset, and row number, you will need a row marker for this because there are different rounds where we're going to increase, and you need to keep them all recorded. So this is going to be round number 1, which starts like this. You have the beginning of the round marker, pull the needle from the back. This is magic loop method. We're going to take that marker, slip it off, and then we're going to do a KFB on the next stitch, which means knit through the front of the stitch, keep it on the left needle, go to the back of the stitch, and then pull it off. So from one, this is an increase. From 1 stitch we made 2 stitches. Then we're going to place our second marker, and we're going to knit to the end. Okay, so that's round number 1. Round number 2, 3 will be just plain knitting. So I'm going to speed this up. So you're just going to slip the markers as you get to them and knit 2 rounds. So now we're ready for round number 4, which is another increase round, and I'm going to show you how to work it. So we're just going to slip this first marker, and it says knit from back twice. So we have 2 stitches, we're going to do KFBs on both of them. So knit through the front, knit through the back, kick it off, and again knit through the front, knit through the back, take it off, slip the marker and knit all around. Okay, so finish round 4. You're just going to click it on your row counter, and then row 5, 6, 7 and 8 you just do plain knitting, no increase at all, and I'll see you for row number 9. All right, now we're ready for row number 9, and this is another increase row, and pretty much the rest of the increase rows will just go like this. So I'm just going to show you this one, and I'll let you do the rest by yourself. All right, so round number 9, we're going to slip this marker, and then it says knit front back. So we're going to knit front, knit back, knit to 1 stitch before the next marker, and we're going to knit from back, slip the marker and knit all around. I'm just going to knit a little bit here, and then I'm going to explain it to you a bit. So all we're going to do from now on is increase. On the increase round, we're going to, I'm just going to take one of these. We're going to increase the stitch after the marker and the stitch before the marker. So we're going to do KFB here, knit to one stitch before, and then we're going to do a KFB here. And all of this is going to be explained in the pattern. So just continue increasing with the increased rows when you're asked to do that. And I will see you when we're ready to bind off the thumb and continue with the rest. So we're going to keep increasing every other row, or just follow the instructions, and then we're going to bind off here and join back in the round this, and just continue working this to the top. So once you finish the increases, and I have here my thumb gusset, you can see we started here and we increased all the way there, and now we have 20 stitches in between our markers. And for row 27, so I've just finished row 26, which was another increase row, the last increase row. For the next row, this is what we're going to do. For the next round, we're still working magic loop. I'm going to pull the needle from the back, take my marker, and now I'm going to bind off all these stitches. So 20 stitches we're going to bind off. And I'll show you how I bind off. So I'm going to knit one, knit another one, pass the knitted stitch over, knit another one, pass the knitted stitch over, knit another one, keep going like this. The lighting changed a bit since I filmed, because I filmed in the morning and then I had a few things to do, some errands to run, and now it's getting dark, so I have to use my artificial light. Let me just show you how it looks. This is what it looks. Almost there. I'm going to take the marker off. Okay. So because we have one stitch left here from the thumb of the gusset, we're going to bind that off. So knit one and pass it over. So now we're just going to knit one round, and we're going to close the thumb gusset here like this. Let me just show you. I'll speed this up. All right, so I'm left with 48 live stitches, and I'll just show you how we're going to close this big gap here. So we did the bind off, so we need to unite this and close it in like this. So we're going to align our stitches, our needles, like that. I'm going to pull my needle from the back. I'm going to slip this marker here, and I'm going to knit. And this first stitch, I'm just going to pull on very strong here. And then I'm just going to continue knitting. And we closed it, as you can see here. For the next stitch, it's going to be even more closed and more closed. I'll show you, as you can see. So then you're going to knit stockinette as much as you need here. I think I did about 10 rows, and then I changed to the twisted rib. And for the twisted rib, I've done 2 or 3 repeats. I've done 2 repeats and a half. You could obviously do the same for both mittens, but you can make it longer if you want. You can go like this long, or obviously, if you prefer, you can just do a whole glove. But this pattern is for fingerless mittens. You need your fingers to do the typing on the smartphone. Everyone owns a smartphone these days, and it's so annoying. Even if you get those gloves that are touch screen, it's so annoying because it nearly never works. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Click that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Bye.